Hello, beautiful souls out there. Let's chat about energy types and strategy and kind of how those two things work together. It is Wisdom Wednesday, where we dive into a little bit deeper into human design education and cover different topics. So today is energy type and strategy because those really go hand in hand. Your energy type determines your strategy. So let's start off with energy types. What are energy types? There are 5 main energy types in human design. It is generator, manifesting generator, manifestor, projector, and reflector. And all of those are determined by how your energy centers are defined. So in order to be a manifesting generator or just a pure generator, you need to have the sacral defined, which is that second square up from the bottom. I probably should have made slides, but I didn't. So you can check your chart. You can always head to my website, malloryreese.com, run your human design chart, and your human design chart, it'll tell you exactly what the energy type is. And actually, when you run it on my website and you click whatever the name is next to energy type, so let's say it says energy type, manifesting generator, click on that blue underlined manifesting generator right there on your chart, and it'll take you to a really in-depth video all about the manifesting generator energy type, what that means, because I'm not going to get into the individual energy types right here in this video. I will, well, hang on. I'll post throughout the week probably of some tidbits about those, but the purpose of this video is just to talk about energy type in general. So your energy type is determined from how your energy centers are defined. So like I said, for the generator and manifesting generator, that sacral center is defined. So you know if you see a sacral center defined in a chart, automatically it's either a generator or a manifesting generator. Now, the question is, what differentiates those two? So a manifesting generator will have that sacral center connected to the throat center somehow. Sometimes that travels through different energy centers, like the G center, how we have like the sacral center, the G center, and then the throat center right up here. So if you have those all clearly connected through channels, that can determine a manifesting generator. The real channel that you know it's a pure manifesting generator is that 34, so gate 34 in the sacral center connected to the 20th gate up into the throat center. That is a legitimate, super pure manifesting generator. But you can also have manifesting generators when that sacral center is connected to the throat center via different ways, like if you're connecting from the solar plexus up to the throat, and so on and so forth. So that's what determines. If you're just a pure generator, that means that your sacral center is not connected to the throat in any configuration. You can still have the throat center defined, but there's like no clear connection between the sacral to that throat center. Okay, so then we have our manifestors. What defines a manifestor energy type is the throat center connected to another motor. The sacral will be open, so it'll be white. It'll be a white center. So you can have the throat center connected to the solar plexus, or even from the solar plexus down to the root, or you can travel from the through the spleen down to the root or to the heart center. So there are 4 motors in the human design chart, which are the sacral center. If you're a manifestor, that's not going to be defined, so that won't be an option. But then you can also have the heart center, or the ego center is what it's also called, the solar plexus, and the root. Those are the 3 others. So if the throat is connected to one of those other 3, it's a manifestor. Now, if the throat is not connected to one of those 3 energy centers directly, the 3 motor energy centers directly, then that means that you have a projector. So a projector can come in a lot of different configurations. I'm not going to deep dive into all of those just now, but when you don't have the throat directly connected to a motor center, so either the solar plexus, root, or heart center, and the sacral center is open, you have a projector. And then finally, the easiest one to spot is our reflectors, which means all of the energy centers are open. They will all be white, and that is our beautiful reflectors. So let's connect those with the strategy, because basically what happens with how our energy centers are defined determines your energy type. And the whole premise of energy type is the energy type is what makes up how your aura, your aura that surrounds you, is designed to interact with the world. So you'll hear generators and manifesting generators, they're designed to respond. And that's because the sacral center is defined, and the sacral center is a response center. That center is designed to respond. It opens up the aura. Most generators and manifesting generators, when they are living correctly in and of themselves, they have a more open aura. So they actually draw things into them. They can more envelop other people and other auras. So that is why the strategy is to respond. Now, manifestors, they tend to have a little bit more of a closed off aura. It's a little more tight to them. It's a little harder for others to get in. And that's because manifestors, your strategy is to inform. Basically, once you get whatever it is, the intuition, I need to do this, this is what I'm going to do, then you inform those around you of what your intentions are and what you're going to do, and then you just go do it. This is like to where, and it's almost, I don't really, take this loosely, I would say. When I say it's like a protection mechanism, not really protecting you from other people, but more protecting you from the influence of other auras, so that you can stay on focus, stay on target, and just go do what it is that you're like, yes, I'm going to do this. This is happening. You can join me or not, but I'm going to do this regardless. So that's the manifestor aura. So it's a more tight aura into them, and it's harder for the other auras to penetrate and have influence over the manifestor aura. Okay, now projectors. The projector aura is really focused, because projectors are really here to guide the rest of us into more efficient ways of doing things. You have a very focused aura. So you operate best, for the most part, focusing in on one person's aura at a time, being able to read that aura, see how you can best guide that other person's aura when they are open to receiving your guidance. They have to invite you in and your energy in, because that lets you know that they're open to you, right? So that's why the projector's strategy is to be invited, because you can really expel and expend a lot of your energy trying to guide people. But if they're not ready for your guidance, if they're not in a place of receptivity to your amazing guidance and wisdom that you have to offer, you're just going to get bitter and mad because they're not listening to you, because you can see every way it could be so much more efficient and they're not listening to you. So that's why your strategy is to be invited, because you can really hone in and see people and see what would work better for them, but they have to be ready for your wisdom and guidance. And then reflectors. So reflectors, since you're completely open, you have this sampling kind of aura. Remember, your whole thing is to have this deep connection with the lunar process, with the lunar cycles. So what your aura goes in is, it goes in and it samples. It doesn't really let a whole lot in. It will let some in, but it's more of like this sampling and this trying, getting a taste of this, getting a taste of that, getting a taste of this, over here, over there, kind of getting a sample. And as you're sampling, you can over time develop what is the right path or right course or correct environments for you, correct people. It takes some time because you have to spend time and sample. And it's not always like a one-time sampling. That's why your whole thing is to flow through the lunar cycle, because the sampling is going to be different depending on the transits, depending on the energy state of the person, depending on the energy state of the environment. That's why you're kind of there to flow through a full lunar cycle before making a complete decision about something, because you got to sample it over time. It's the sampling over time. Okay, so we are at 10 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up. Whatever questions you have about energy type, about strategy that goes along with that energy type, please leave them down in the comments. You know I love answering questions, and I am here for you. I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now.